as I was out on my own, I started scanning through and looking for guys that were doing casinos in like Chicago, Detroit, and whatnot, and to see if I could catch them. Like, hey, you want to come through on an off day? So I seen Eddie was doing, I think it was Motor City Casino in November, like November 20th, I think it was, or something like that. So I just reached out, and I did this to a bunch of different comedians, and really didn't get any response back.
For that date?
No, just in general. Like,
just in general.
Hey, it was one of
so
those things.
Eddie
like,
Griffin was like your first booked show that you booked? Is that what you're saying by first show? Because you obviously been booking way before that.
Yeah,
so.
that I booked personally. Like
you personally booked was Eddie Griffin.
I had booked some stuff before.
What
Eddie,
a big
like,
first show to book.
Yeah, so I actually had booked some stuff before that through through agencies and whatnot. But this was like the first one where like I just like reached out on a whim, and so shoot, it was like,
and it was because you seen him performing at the Motor City. And you're like, let's just reach out and see what we can do.
So it's like 1 a.m, I think it was, and get an email, and it's his agent, and so we start going back and forth, and he's asking me information about like about my venues. Like, he's like, what's your venue like? I'm like, well, I got like 7 of them, and he's like, well, tell me about them. So I go through and like I tell him about them, and
tell me about your venues, man.
Yeah,
well, okay.
So I'm going through, and I'm honest when it comes to this. Like, I don't sugarcoat it. So like,
you don't want them expecting something more when they walk in the door, or something less, or
so Muskegon holds 425 people. Is it the most aesthetically nice comedy room? 100% no. Like, it is not. Like, you were there for Steve-O.
You
like,
could make it though.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, you don't. Just the money you'd have to invest.
Yeah, you'd have to put a lot of money into that to make it into that. It's, I mean, for what?
Just get some real brick.
The purpose for the purpose it serves, like, it's solid. Like, at the same time, like,
solid.
I knew, like, this is Eddie Griffin, so like I was brutally honest with him, and I always am with agencies. Like, I tell them, like, hey, Muskegon holds 425 people, brings out a great crowd. All that's good aesthetically. Like, if they're really concerned about what they're performing in, it's a banquet room attached to a bowling alley. Like, so like, it's not for everybody, but if they want the capacity of 425 and make some money and whatnot, it's a good room. It brings out a good crowd.
Yeah.
So I kind of explained that to him, and he's like, so it's your best room? And I'm like, no, it's probably my worst. He's like, but it holds 425. I'm like, yeah. So it's your best room? Like, no, like, it's not my best room. And he's like, but it holds 425. And I'm like, if that's what you're getting at, like, that it holds the most, then yes, it's my best room.
Is this phone or email?
This is phone at this time.
Yeah,
so now we've graduated to
right.
phone. And this guy's awesome too. Like, he and I are friends now. So just nicest, like, I don't know if I say nicest dude in the world. Like, he's honest. Like, I love that fact that
he's not nice about it, but he's honest.
He's honest, like, and he's quick to get back to you. Like,
that's good. That's all you could ever ask for in those situations.
Yeah, there's a lot of agents.
Just be honest and get back to me quickly.
Tell me that, hey, this is not a possibility, or like,
and I'll move the hell on.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't drag it out with me.
Please.
So he's always been really good with that, and we've become friends because of that. Like, I've referred people, like comedians without agents, like, that come through that are good comedians that just are in between representation. Like, I've hooked him up with some people. But yeah, we're just, talking back and forth, and he's, it holds 425. So if that's what's, the biggest deal to you, then yeah, it's my best.
The most people, yeah.
Yeah. So boom, come out of the gate, and like, ticket sales are really good. So Eddie's impressed. He's happy. He has a hole in his schedule. It's that Labor Day weekend. So they hit me up on that. They're like, hey, do you want this? I'm like, ooh, man, like, I think I like had a month or so notice. it's Labor Day weekend. It's like, I don't know, but it's like Eddie Griffin. Like, so I was like, fuck it, let's just do it. So we wind up doing it, and sells out. Like, it went really well. Eddie comes out, and he loved the Park Theater. I had great things to say about it.
What was your first thoughts of the Park Theater?
Oh, I think it's great. It reminds me of like that kind of old school, like true, like theater, like comedy theater.
Yeah,
vibe.
right. It's kind of perfect for it.
Yeah, I don't like the big theaters that are like theaters that
like Fox Theater.
Yeah, that you'd like have a play in or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't. To me, that's not like it. Yeah, it's nice. It's not like that old school comedy theater venue, and that's what Park reminds me of. It's like I was in love like right away as soon as I seen it. I was like, this place is great. So, but you never know what other people are gonna think.
Right.
So Eddie comes out, and he really enjoyed it, but like he had like little things that he was like, oh, I would change this, I would do this type things,
like to the venue itself,
or
just
to the venue,
show?
like just like he said the stage was too big, like he would like a curtain behind it, and that way like it's called the black hand, where someone just reaches through and like the curtain and like gives you a bottle of water or whatever it might be, and he's like, it'd be nice to have that, and just little stuff like that. And like as he's first telling me the stuff, I'm like, cool, like okay, like he likes this place, that's cool. He actually at one point, like he's got me on the phone with D.L. Hughley, telling DL like, hey, you got to play this place. He's texting Dave Chappelle. Like, it was just wild.
Damn.
So like I'm kind of like soaring high at this point, and then I start thinking, I'm like, fuck, he just like picked apart like some of the littlest stuff right here, and he's got to play Muskegon in like 2 months. So like right away I'm hitting up his agent, and I'm like, yeah, this shows went really well. We might want to think about moving that November show. And he's like, what? Like, tickets are doing really well. I'm like, yeah, no, I agree. But like, he was a little skeptical of like some certain things at Park. Then, like I said, like aesthetically, like this isn't even close. And he's like, no, we're good. So that night we had